Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an easy anniversary to remember.
Oh yes. I,
So these cows right here?
is the microphone on?
Yes.
Yep, you're good to go.
This is my I work on a farm. This is the cows and calves and I'm going to be a pig farmer someday. And this is like I work on this farm, mucking out and clean up feeding the animals and and helping the community. Yeah. Sheep and cows and turkeys and chickens and a lot of eggs. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, so we're a registered charity, which gives us the ability to apply for grants and write tax receipts, which is incredible with our organization because we're funded by CLBC for some of our program participation. Oh, it's Community Living British Columbia, so it's like disability funding. And so some of the companions that join our programming are funded that way, and we also hold private contracts, but we wouldn't be able to do what we do without fundraising and grant writing. It's like really key to our operation. So yeah, it's a big part of what we do, and everything that you've seen here, like fundraising or grant writing, has touched it in some way. So it's, yeah. So, well, anything that leaves the farm is just kind of a happy byproduct of our workshops. So our workshops are designed to like engage people and give them a sense of meaning and participation and like kind of ownership and engagement with what they do. And so after that, everything's used on the farm, and then after that is like a kind of a happy byproduct for what we sell. So we don't really rely too much on external sales. We definitely engage in that, but we rely a lot more on our fundraising and grant writing. Yeah.
Yeah, so here on Glenora Farm, we have about 50 people at any given time living on the farm, and we are able to grow all of our vegetables for the people that live here. So that's our primary reason why we grow, and then whatever we have left, we are able to sell on Cow-op, we sell at the Duncan Farmers Market, and to other restaurants in the area. And Cow-op has been so helpful just in terms of advertising. It was really helpful during COVID when we couldn't go to the market. People weren't really allowed to come onto the farm to pick up veggies. We could just sell directly onto the website, which was a blessing. And yeah, it's been, I mean, the fact that we don't always have to stand for 8 hours at a farmer's market on Saturdays to sell produce. We just pack everything up, bring it to Cow-op, and they do all the advertising, distributing, sorting for us. Is awesome. Thanks, Cow-op.
Yay! Thanks, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Milking sheep, right?
Yes, and they're going to have a baby soon in April.
Yeah, lambs will be coming.
Yeah.
And some of the lambs end up in the freezer, right?
Yes.
Good meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you help take the sheep out sometimes?
Yeah.
Tell about that, taking them out.
Then take out the sheep, out the fields, like,
To let them graze.
graze. I'm the shepherd.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so I love working here. I don't live on the farm, so it's really nice to come in every day and just work with everyone here, to be on the land, to be part of this community and be part of interesting projects, meaningful work, sense of connection with other people. It's wonderful. I don't know if I could choose one favorite thing. I think the best part is when I get to leave my desk and interface with other people and collaborate. I think those are the best parts of my day. You know, we were talking earlier about, is alternative the right word, or because it shouldn't be alternative, it should be have like a bigger arena in the mainstream. So also this life sharing model that we do here is an alternative model, and it's a model that should have more visibility and more kind of focus for people who maybe don't have access or information about intentional living, community living, cooperative structures. So, yeah. So when we find like-minded models working together, it just seems really harmonious.
Do you mind just telling us your name and what you do here? Because we haven't actually got that on
My
camera.
name is Chris, and I'll come here like
Last year, and what do you do here?
I work out. I'm going to like help other like the name is like a farmer. A main farmer name's Kate. I'm going to help someday. Going to help Kate to be another helper.
What do you do now? You help feed?
Feeding animals, muck it out. A chicken coop, some eggs, collect eggs, and yeah.
Well, the Valley has the highest rate of child poverty in BC, so for us to be able to have action, to have some resolution to that and to be a positive change maker is so important for all of our coworkers and companions. I think we just all feel a sense of pride in that giving back, right? And making sure people have what they need, these basics. Yeah, good food, healthy food, food that's, grown in a sustainable way with like care and love and meaning. You can tell when you eat it. Yeah. Did you guys talk about COVID yet and the difference that having Cow-op through the pandemic, what that meant for us? So yeah, it was great because everything shut down and we were still able to continue our work here at the farm, which was incredible. And so our land actually benefited a little bit during that time because we were all really focused on it and focused on working the land and being outside. And then, we feed ourselves very well here, but in addition to that, we also had an avenue to get the food to market. So that was wonderful to partner with the Cow-op in that way so that we could take, what we were doing and what we were growing, any surplus from what we would use here and get it to the wider community. So we also, I don't know if you've covered that we donate to like Refresh Cowichan and so also the Food Basket Society and Nourish Cowichan. So they're our biggest partners for donations, our donations partners. And so we continue to work with them through a number of projects. So it's wonderful to have that ability to support other charities and nonprofits and work together to enhance food security in the Cowichan Valley.
Okay, make me look really good, please. So the greenhouses, this greenhouse up until very recently has been 100% plant starts. In the spring and the summer there's weeds and stuff, and so they eat the weeds, and then when I roll the sides up in the greenhouses they eat all the weeds that grow up the sides, and it helps keep my greenhouses cleaner. So
that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
It's one of my least favorite parts of, we have two greenhouses side by side, and
yeah.
it's always like, what do we do?
Yeah.
On Cow-op?
Yeah.
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 Red ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tasty.
Oh no, last week I think they were only in the bags.
And they were
I didn't
green.
have them separate.
Okay,
Yeah, so no, I didn't. It wasn't me.
it wasn't you.
Okay, so this is the paper pot that I'm actually going to be planting fairly soon. So I'm going to be filling it with soil and then planting little green onion seeds in here. Then, oh, here. Then these ones are actually pretty much ready to plant. These are peas, and you just pull them off in a big row, and you make a little trench in your soil, pull these off in a row, and instead of taking me half an hour to plant, it takes me about 5 to 10 minutes. So it's a huge time saver. And you can get paper pots in 2-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch spacings. So it spaces them for you.
So you don't, some of the other questions that we're sort of asking are like, what's your story of how you got into growing food?
Accidentally. I started off, I wanted to homestead and be more self-sufficient. So I thought I'll grow my own food and raise my own chickens and things like that. And I started enjoying the gardening so much. I thought, well, maybe I'll grow a little more and sell it at the end of the driveway. Well, maybe if I grow even more, I can sell it at the market.
Yeah.
And then I was so obsessed that I couldn't stop. So then I was a farmer all of a sudden.
What are some of your biggest challenges?
Deer, I would say. Yeah, I think deer would be the biggest challenge. And time. Time is always a huge challenge because there's just so much to do always. And I've got better systems in place now and I've improved what I'm doing. There's still not enough hours in the day though.
If you could picture like a perfect world, how would this kind of farming translate on a bigger scale? Would you see more people doing it? Like, important for people to start learning about
I think everybody should learn about growing their own food, or at the very least support local farmers. I think very soon it's going to be way too expensive to get stuff up from California and Mexico, and I think learning to eat what's in season. And it took me about 2 years to really learn that and get into it. But now probably 80–90% of what I eat is either what I grow myself and what's in season. I don't go in December and buy tomatoes from the grocery store. It's all, I have tomatoes in the summer. And that's it. So. I do think this is the way everyone should farm, and they should get rid of big ag. I think it's horrible for the environment and the earth, and it just uses so many chemicals and chemical fertilizers, and yeah, I don't understand why people still do it that way. It's not though. No, I actually watched a documentary. I can't remember what it was called. And a guy he was about to lose his farm, and he couldn't figure out how to grow crops without getting all these inputs of the fertilizers and the stuff that he needed. So he started researching permaculture and turned to that and got some cows and chickens, and he says he makes more money from his property than he ever did doing the big ag and stuff like that. So yeah, it was fantastic. It was a really good story actually.
Yeah.
Too bad I don't tell it better.
It's all good with the audio?
Yep, I've been rolling like a 12 time, lots of audio.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Can I take this off now?
Yeah, you can